ever feel like finding real connection is just like impossible, especially as an introvert.
Yeah.
Like you're searching for something that's not even really out there.
Yeah.
So many people have asked us to dig into this article, and it really gets into it, especially for us, those like crazy, intense, short-lived infatuations, they can feel like, whoa.
Yeah, like a roller coaster.
A total roller coaster.
Yeah.
And not the fun kind.
Right. And especially for introverts.
Yeah.
Because we like to save our energy.
Exactly. And the article even calls it like an emotional echo chamber, which I thought was interesting.
What's that?
It's that thing we do where, we replay every little interaction over and over in our heads, analyzing every detail. But like, it's not like we're actually analyzing spreadsheets,
Yeah.
It's more like we're making a whole movie in our minds about someone we barely even know.
Totally. And that's where this whole idealization thing comes in.
Oh, tell me more about that, because that was a big part of the article.
Yeah. So they were saying it's almost like we can't help it. We end up building up this whole picture of a person.
Right.
But it's based more on what we want, our own fantasies, than who they actually are.
It's like we're trying to sculpt something perfect, but we're not even using real material, It's like we're molding our hopes and dreams onto another person, and then
being disappointed when they don't match up.
Exactly.
And that's when the article kind of hits you with this question.
Okay, what is it?
Does this person, right now, actually deserve all that space in your head?
Oh, I see what you mean. That's a good question.
Before you just hand over the keys to your thoughts and everything.
Right.
You got to figure out, are you actually falling for them or just the idea of them?
Which, let's be real, is so tricky for anyone.
Yeah.
But especially for us introverts, because we're all about that real, genuine connection.
Authenticity, yeah.
Yes. And the article really contrasts that, like the shallowness of infatuation with the kind of deep connection we all want.
Right, what's actually going to last?
Yeah. It's like comparing, a sugar rush to a nice home-cooked meal.
Ooh, I like that.
One gives you that quick burst, but the other actually sustains you. Speaking of sustaining, the article talks about how emotionally draining infatuation can be, especially for introverts.
Yeah, I think we've all been there.
It's not just feeling things intensely, it's like that intensity never ends.
You're just constantly on.
Yeah, and eventually you just burn out.
Totally.
It's like that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Oh, I love that one.
The article actually compared it to a phone that's constantly running a million apps.
Oh, yeah.
Your battery's just dead, all the time.
It's a good analogy.
Right. And it just shows how important it is for us introverts to protect our energy, and to really think about if a relationship is giving us energy or just totally draining us dry.
Yeah, it makes you think about what we really need in a relationship, especially us introverts. Totally. And that's where the article gets into this whole idea of stability, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah. Because at first it seems like the opposite of infatuation.
Right. Infatuation is all about the excitement, the unknowns.
Exactly. But who wants to feel like they're always walking on eggshells, never knowing what to expect from the other person?
Oh, totally.
And I feel like for introverts especially,
It's just too much.
yeah, we want something real, something we can count on,
Exactly. And the article talks about how much introverts need that feeling of stability, knowing where they stand, feeling secure.
Yes.
And that can be tough when you're caught up in that whirlwind of infatuation where things are always changing.
It's true, because it's how can you really let yourself be vulnerable when you don't even know what to expect from one day to the next?
It's you can never fully relax.
Right.
And the article argues that being vulnerable is essential for building that real lasting connection.
Absolutely, because that's where the real intimacy comes from.
Totally.
Okay, so how do we actually do that then? How do we avoid the infatuation trap?
Well, the article has some good tips, and the first one is actually pretty simple.
Okay, I'm listening.
Slow down.
Just slow down.
Yeah, don't rush into anything, even just labeling your feelings.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Take your time, get to know the person, for real.
Which can be hard,
Right.
right? Because those early stages are so exciting.
Oh, totally. But it's important because when you take it slow,
Yeah.
you can start to see the whole picture, not just the idealized version.
That makes sense.
And that leads to the next tip, which is all about self-awareness.
Oh, okay. I like where this is going.
So basically, they're saying you have to stay grounded in reality.
Okay.
check in with yourself. Like, what are you feeling? Why are you feeling it?
Oh, that's such good advice, because it's so easy to get swept up in the fantasy of it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta ask yourself, are you really into this person or just the idea of them?
It's like, are you building castles in the clouds?
Exactly. And we all know what happens to those.
Yeah, they eventually crumble.
They always do.
So we're slowing down, staying grounded, really trying to see things clearly.
Yeah.
What else can we do? So we're taking it slow, staying grounded, like really looking at the whole picture instead of just those rose-colored glasses.
Right. And then the article, it actually goes a step further.
Oh, okay, tell me more.
It talks about like really shifting your focus from those like, fireworks of infatuation to the stuff that really matters, especially for us introverts.
Right, because those fireworks, they don't last.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're saying you got to look for authenticity.
Like real, genuine connection.
Yes. Where you can be yourself
And we forgot.
completely.
No masks, no pretending,
Nope. Just you. And feeling totally comfortable with that.
and feeling like the other person gets you, like really gets you.
Yeah, like they see you, the real you.
It's almost like, I don't know, have you ever felt that feeling of like coming home after being gone for a while?
Oh, yeah, totally.
And you can just finally relax, be yourself, no need to impress anyone.
Exactly. That's what they're talking about. Like authentic relationships, they should feel like coming home.
Not like you're constantly chasing after something, always trying to prove yourself.
It's like if you're always chasing, it means it's always just out of reach.
Right, and that just creates this tension,
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
especially for us introverts.
Yeah.
Like we want that feeling of being grounded, secure.
Exactly. And the article, it actually says this.
What does it say?
It says, don't be afraid to walk away.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If something's not right, if it's not giving you what you need.
It's hard though, right? Because sometimes you just want to hold on so badly.
It is hard, but they're saying sometimes letting go is the best thing you can do for yourself.
So how do we know when it's time to walk away? Like, are there any signs we should be looking out for?
They talk about tuning into your gut feeling, which I think is really important.
Yeah, that little voice inside that always seems to know what's up.
Exactly. Like, does this relationship, does it actually make you feel good?
Or does it feel like a constant struggle?
Exactly. Are you excited to see this person, or does it feel like a chore?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, are you getting energy from being around them, or are you just drained all the time?
It's like those are the questions we need to be asking ourselves.
Yeah, and sometimes the answer might be hard to hear, but
But it's better to hear it than to keep going down a road that's not right for you.
absolutely. Because it's like you deserve to be with someone who really sees you, who appreciates you for you.
And who makes you feel good, like really good.
Yeah, like you can finally exhale and be your true self.
As we're wrapping up this deep dive, I can't help but think about how this whole thing, it just feels so relevant to us introverts.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like it's all those things that make us who we are, you
Yeah.
know? Our sensitivity, our thoughtfulness, our need for something real.
Our authenticity.
Exactly. Those are the things that can actually lead us to the kind of relationships we're all looking for.
The ones that really matter.
So true. Well, we'll leave you with that thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into infatuation and authenticity. And remember, the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. So be good to you. Until next time.